Get mics turned on. We have sound on. Turn my damn phone off. Certainly don't need that bullshit. All right, chat. How is everyone doing? Oh, I'm turning my phone off like a... There we go. All right. So we all know it is Monday. Time for Vampire the Masquerade. Tonight I'm joined by Nox, our storyteller, Skot, who plays Idaho, Zack, who plays Vic, I'm Alice, and we're waiting on Martha. Well, she's always got to be fashionably late, you know, and to keep in with character, I suppose.
Oh, I thought I was going to be the late one tonight.
Yeah, I was on.
So how was everyone's Thanksgiving?
It was great until today, I guess.
Until
we found our car.
Aww.
Yeah, we went out earlier, and the whole back window is just absolutely gone.
That's so lame.
Well, it was the sad part. Is you could tell where the rock hit and where it went through. You know, like there's a little hole, but then the whole rest of the back of the window is like all spider web. Like just so when I went to like just try and get the glass out, all of it just like turned into little shards and just fell into the trunk of the car. So then I had to spend like 20 minutes just sitting there with the vacuuming up all the little glass shards out of the piece of crap.
Sucks.
Really
Do you
sucks.
guys have any idea who did it?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's the same person.
Well,
who put a hole in our tail light 3 months ago.
I do think it's them, in all honesty. But while we were out there, there was a woman that came out and asked if it had happened during the hit and run. And we're like, what do you mean? She's like, somebody plowed into the back of my car and just sped out, peeled out, and took off. So the other theory, working theory, I'm not buying it too much, though, is that maybe a rock got kicked up and went through, but the angle doesn't seem right.
The angle angle wouldn't have made sense. That was definitely.
But these are the same violent, abusive neighbors that have thrown things at us, including throwing a lug nut the size of my fist at Zach's head. So
it wasn't a lug nut. It was a socket.
Or the socket for the nut. Yeah.
This is what he threw at my head.
Jesus Christ.
He threw that.
I had my gun on me. I had my gun on me at the time. Had this hit me, I probably would have shot him.
Because, I mean, and I can't blame if you get hit in the head with some flying metal object, how do you know that they're not going to do something else? I mean,
No. So why take the chance?
So sick of these people.
Can't disagree with that one.
I just don't know how people can go out of their way to literally ruin other people's days, if not lives. I mean, today our whole day was just shit because of this. And yet and not feel something about it, either some empathy or grief or something that they're such a shithole person. And but there's no reflection.
It sucks.
It's like, you live in the hood with me, okay? You don't live in Westlake. You don't have any more money than I do, and I don't know. But you're acting really fucking entitled right now. And acting like this is just your great big house with people that live around you, not you're paying for a part of an apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't hear you beating your wife. I shouldn't hear you running power tools at 2 a.m.
That confrontation where he threw the socket at me, it started because he started a barbecue pit on his patio, right, within 3 feet of his apartment, and I took a picture of it. So he came out and got angry at me and told me to mind my own fucking business. And I'm like, dude, I live in the same building as you. If you set this building on fire, that's my fucking business.
Mm-hmm. Call the police.
Oh, cops don't show up out here unless there's gunfire. And even then, they think about it.
Police in Austin have already announced that they are no longer responding to non-emergency calls.
If you aren't dead or dying, they don't give a shit.
Well, that sucks. That'll drive the property values down.
And that's the kind of shit we get every time our car gets vandalized. I'm going in Not because I expect them to do something. I know they're not going to, but to let them know you should be alerting other people someone's breaking into cars or fucking with cars. And they bypass that I'm informing them and tell me I need to call the police and file a report. On who? Unless you got photographic evidence that they did it, those cops, if they show, don't give two fucks. They're cops.
And from what I could tell, nothing was stolen. Nobody even tried to get into the car. They just threw a rock through the window and left. It wasn't even like they tried to break in. They didn't try to like steal anything. Just rock through the window and walk away. So, I mean, what can a police report really do? Nothing. There's no fingerprints. There's no.
Not for that. No, they can't.
Yeah, exactly. They can't do anything for that other than just file a report that it happened.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
I
feel for you. It sucks. I have nothing negative to report.
Good.
Well, yes, I do.
Then what use are you?
I just remembered I do have something. My son is coming to visit soon. That's pretty negative.
Yeah, kids are a pain in the ass.
So when's he going to be here?
He's coming down on the 20th. So I'll have to see how that's going to affect my attendance because obviously I won't be here while he's here.
Right.
So, and I believe he's going to be here for a couple of weeks. He comes down for Christmas and New Year's, and then he heads back up there. So
it's okay. We can just do a side story where you and Samantha, go do something, and the rest of us will.
It's the Vampire Family Hour.
Vampire make a family hour.
That's right. Yep. I'm super curious about her. The me, not Idaho. I guess Idaho kind of is too, but me. I'm just curious about the whole thing. It's like, why is she, you want a vampire, go make one. What do you need somebody else for?
Knox kind of explained that one a little bit. She has tried. Every vampire she's tried to make has come out a half-blood. So she's thinking that you, for some reason, are going to give her better luck than a half-blood. She's thinking you might give her a full-blooded vampire.
So
is that right, Knox?
I mean, more or less. I mean, if you want more details, you could ask somebody who knows your sire.
Who knows her sire?
Your sire.
Your sire.
Oh. We know a few people like that. Oh, so there's something special about my sire. He was Cain. I knew it. That's why I'm so powerful.
That's why you're second generation.
That's right.
That's why you can still feed off of regular humans. Yeah, that's sure. Right.
Cain with boobs and no head now.
Fear me. Yeah, y'all wonder where Shaw and Charles are. I ate both of them. That's how strong I am.
So do we want to get started and
sure.
Wonderful Mr. Starwell show up as he normally does? All right. I guess we should probably do a bit of a recap as well.
Yeah, because we were out last week, so we can catch everybody up. And remember, guys, we do respond in chat. Alert sounds are turned off, but visual alerts still come up for the follows, the subs, the bits, and all the good stuff. So, let's get going.
With that, welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, Philly by Night, session 40.
Woo.
Wow.
Over the hill after today.
So, since it's been a couple of weeks, we'll do a real brief recap. When last we left off, or shall I say, last session, the coterie was at the law offices of Haddonfield and Fairchild, attempting to negotiate with one Francis Haddonfield, attempting to see the third man. After some intimidation by Vic and some, shall we say, intervention by Mr. Fairchild and Scro, Haddonfield led the group downstairs to meet Abraham. A jailed kindred in his very specialized circumstances of a cell. Bartering with him to figure out information about who did what they did to the group. He asked only one thing, that they bring an experiment that is being conducted in Fairmont Park to him by the wolves. Leaving there, the coterie kind of scattered to the winds, trying to take care of loose ends, trying to figure out what exactly that they're going to do next. So with that said, while we are waiting for the fourth member of our coterie, let's do some housekeeping.
Wow.
Wow, for once, everybody is surprisingly amicable when they wake up. So, kind of a meta discussion, but kind of not a meta discussion. Just received note that we might be down a person tonight. So, the question becomes, what are you guys going to do with this evening?
Well, I'm going to do my usual thing and just head over to the apartments.
Okay, so, I was heading to the apartments. Are you bringing Brutus with you?
Mm-hmm. And he already met everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to bring him with me.
I didn't know his name was Brutus yet, but yeah, we've met. And just basically try to find everybody.
Okay, so you're basically just going to kind of try to group up with everybody.
Yeah.
Vic, how are you starting your evening?
I guess I mentioned at the end of the last episode I was making not birdshot. Damn it, I can't remember. I was making slugs and I put it in the chat. I'm making buckshot and slug shells. So
just continuing on with
yeah.
your weaponsmithing. Okay. Al, how are you starting this evening?
Probably checking on Ruby and Lane, see what they're up to.
Ruby is about to head out when you wake up. She is about to head out to the club. Lane is already over there getting her bar set up. Ruby kind of gives you a kiss on the cheek as she heads out and tells you that it doesn't look like there's much of a line out there. So it might be a bit of a slow night.
many nights has it been since we've been? I know we had one night.
It is
This,
it is just the
second or
next night.
third. This is okay. So this is still okay.
Because we're under a timeline.
Right. Yeah. That's why I want to make
I'm gonna
sure I know
look
what
for,
night it is.
Moira, if since Michael's not around.
Moira is, as ever, in the offices, doing admin.
Does she have a way? I mean, Michael's not the only one who can get in touch with Nawal, right?
Well, Nawal is part of your group chat, so you should
Okay.
have.
So have
everyone
we
should
heard
have
anything
access.
from Nawal? Because she was going to get some surveillance set up for the park.
Well, since that was going to be a message that was going to the erstwhile Mr. Starwell, we'll say that Moira has it. She kind of pulls her phone up when you get to her Idaho, and there is a small video. It's an edited footage where Is that any better? Okay.
Are you guys hearing it as well? Like he starts off strong and then it fades a little. His volume.
Not really.
No, it sounds steady to me.
That's really weird.
Yes, no, good.
See, that's really low to me.
Now that was low.
Yeah, now I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
That's better.
Okay.
But yeah, it was as you'd go on, the first 2 seconds or so would be really good, and then it would kind of, and then come up.
I don't know that I noticed that.
We'll see.
Okay, sorry. So the video, Moira produces a video for you, Idaho. It is on a phone. It is truncated, like it's only the entire video is like maybe a minute 15. It looks like it's in kind of fast forward. It shows a drone that is taking off from outside of the museum at the very end of Fairmont. As the drone goes up and starts to pan around on like the outside of the park and on like more public areas, it's very, very smooth. Like the footage is very fine. But there's a particular part where it starts to go over more wooded areas, more densely forested areas. And as soon as it goes into over those areas, it kind of hovers and then kind of drops down like it's going to go a little bit more in depth and kind of get a little more of an up close view. And then something hits it. It's difficult to see in the footage. It looks like maybe it's maybe it's rock, maybe it's a seer of some kind, maybe it's difficult to see from the footage because it's moving so fast. But it comes out, hits it, and then obviously the footage ends.
So we didn't get much.
Moira kind of chuckles and is basically like, just a very large bill.
Yay. Well, I guess I'm still just going to chill there until Vic and Al show up if they're not already there.
So do we want to say that everyone kind of comes down once the sun goes down to group?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I've got nothing else going on, so I'm coming down to the main meeting area.
So I guess, we'll share the video with everybody, obviously. And since Michael's not around, do we know how to even approach Fairmont Park?
So you guys have already, having been to the museum before, where you guys have met other kindred several times, One of the things that definitely would have come up is the fact that, well, the museum is considered a neutral ground for meeting. It's also kind of considered the gateway to Fairmont Park, going past the museum, going around the museum, and then going into the park itself, because the museum is, if you're looking like at the map itself, it's kind of like here.
Mhm.
You can see where I'm pinging.
Yeah.
It's
green.
I
Yeah.
forgot to move
it's
the map.
right there, like
That's on
at
me.
that.
I knew I forgot to do something.
So that's kind of the big deal, is that you guys know exactly
Well,
where to head in.
yeah, I guess more of my question was, do we know how to approach the people that live there, the things that live there?
Well, that's the thing. There's there's the werewolves and there's also the vampires.
Right. Are we going to the gangrel? Are we going to?
Yes.
Are we going to try to be diplomatic about this, or are we going to try to be stealthy? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Because
how many gangrel do we know? How many gangrel have we come across?
apparently we've come across a few that have tried to get into the club and we're not allowed in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, the one that wasn't wearing any shoes.
And then the other guy, I forgot what his name is. The guy, he lives up northwest, though. I don't know if he's part of the Fairmont gangrel.
Neil.
Other than that, we had a gangrel in our group and she left. I don't know if we have any relations with any gangrel. I'm not aware of it.
And then, of course, there's the gangrel that you ripped his head off, Vic.
That was self-defense.
I claim self-defense. I claim self-defense.
So I guess it's kind of tough without Michael here, but my question is, do we want to try to get some more information and approach this diplomatically, or do we want to take the risk of just trying to sneak in? Because if we sneak in and they catch us, we're kind
I
of...
would like to at least approach it diplomatically, so at least we have the gangrels on our side, because if we have the gangrels and the werewolves against us, then things are going to get really dicey in there. At least if we have the gangrels on our side, then we might be able to do something. But, I mean, if we can't even accomplish that, then we've got a huge task ahead of us.
I'll tell you, outside of the game, this is making me have, like, unpleasant flashbacks of that one damn mission that comes late in Bloodlines where you have to go to the park and you interact with the werewolf. And unless you've somehow cheated on your character, you don't fight the werewolf, because if you try to fight it, you die. You have to get the thing accomplished and get out of there before it kills you. And that was like one of the toughest and scariest parts of that whole damn game.
Well, and that's kind of as a meta discussion, vampires, kindred are so used to being kind of the apex amongst humans. I mean, it takes a very skilled hunter to pose an actual threat to a kindred. But even an average werewolf physically is more than a match for most kindred. That's on flat playing field. Like that's nightmare fuel for most kindred. If they even believe that werewolves.
Yeah, Vic doesn't even want to go face to face with the werewolf.
So, I mean, I don't know how do we find out? Is it possible we might know somebody, or that we might have some sort of in with the gangrel, or do we just go over there and see what we can do?
So, as a kind of more of a meta discussion, let's say, that is definitely something that you guys can pursue. You guys also have other things that are maybe not quite as time pressing, but are relevant.
Oh, right. I mean, there's plenty we could do. I just thought since we were under a time schedule that we needed to deal with this, or we would run out of time.
Right, but he's saying there may be other things that may coincide. Like for a long time, we've been wanting to reach out to the gangrels and kind of open up that avenue and we never did it. because there's always been more pressing matters. So there might be more things that we can do other than just.
Well, we have a bunch of stuff we could do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, is it the kind of thing we want to say, since all of us are not here, we should not pursue this, so we should just go on to something else until we're all present? Because we have plenty of things we could do. We could listen to the voice message that we got from.
And then again, we have so much we could do. We may want to split up. I don't know.
I don't think splitting up. And I mean, for me, the way I'm thinking about it is this thing in Fairmount Park needs to be us at our best strength that we can possibly muster.
Oh yeah, when we finally get to it, yes. I'm thinking to collect information though, or like to at least get allies or something like that. We may be able to split up for that. But for actually like taking, going in and taking the big thing, yes, we're gonna need everybody involved, definitely.
Well, I mean, I don't know. My thoughts are, Michael's the elder. You guys have been around longer. Does anybody know any gangrel we could approach, or are we just gonna have to go to Walnut Street Theater, and stand at the door and wait to see who comes to talk to us? Or do we approach, like someone like Nawal? Maybe she knows somebody, or I could try to contact Sunny, even though I'm already in debt to her. How do we go about finding a gangrel to meet?
Well, so because you mentioned the Walnut Street Theater. Now keep in mind the Walnut Street Theater was the site of the Elysium that once, and where Shaw basically staged an insurrection of sorts. So that probably won't lead you to any, not to get all meta about it, probably will not lead you to any anything regarding meeting a gangrel, if that's kind of what you guys are attempting.
Oh, what I meant was, like, if we go to the accepted entryway to the park.
Oh, you mean the museum?
Yeah, the museum. I messed up when I said the theater. Sorry. If we go to the museum, because I have a feeling the gangrel are the kind of people that if we go near their turf, they're going to find us. So that's one way we could approach to try to meet them. Or does anybody else know anybody, or what other ways could we possibly meet some of them?
I mean, you do know one gangrel. He's not. Yeah. He wouldn't be happy to see you.
Nope. And I don't even know how tight he is with the gangrel in the forest. And we're going there with very little, or if really with no diplomatic work done, asking for a favor. It's a huge shot in the dark.
Maybe the only shot
I could just go to the park with Brutus and just say, I was just walking my dog. What the hell?
Al, what do you think?
Who's the gangrel we know?
What was his name again?
Emil.
But he's like I don't know if I'd call him the guardian, maybe the guardian of the people that live at the farmer place up northwest.
Okay.
So, and every time we run into him, he's always like, I told you guys to stop coming over here, even though the people that live there were somewhat receptive when we visited. You remember that when we went up there to meet him?
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of their guy. I don't know what kind of relations he has with the other gangrel at all.
So maybe we send him a message without going up there to meet him.
Do we have a way to do that? Did he ever share his contact info with us?
Yeah.
I
was going to say, if you want to go see Emil, you're probably going to have to drive up there.
Yeah. He was not receptive at all. I mean, I'd almost be willing to just say, screw it. If we're going to try that route, let's just go to the museum and stand there until a gangrel finds us. If that's the way we want to go about it. Or, see if Nawal knows somebody or something. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I'll try to contact Nawal.
Did you say Andrea was with gangrel? That's what she got converted to? Shit. Okay. Then I guess it's time to text her.
Good luck.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, but she's also, even though she got turned into a gangrel, she was then rescued and with us for a few days, and then she left.
Right. No, I know. I know. It's a very, very long shot. I'm not
All of
expecting it to be.
But I'm going to go ahead and either I'll contact Nawal or get more to contact her or whatever.
Okay, so Idaho, you're going to attempt to contact Nawal. Vic, you said you're going to attempt to contact Andrea?
Yeah.
Okay. Alice, thoughts? What are you thinking here? What are you going to do?
Well, thoughts of trying to flesh out what happened to the kid kind of came to mind, but we kind of got on this gangrel kick, so.
The kid? Who's the kid? Sorry, remind me.
Tracy.
The foster kid.
Okay.
Yeah, I still definitely want to. That's one of my personal top things to worry about.
Well, now you made it my personal. You don't get yeeted on somebody's roof for nothing.
But
I'm invested now.
I mean,
something can be personal, and then something can be time restrictive.
Yeah.
And
I mean, basically, me and Al.
But is anything so time restrictive we can't wait for Michael?
We have one more night to find.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, out of game.
Okay, so with regards to that, Vic, so he gave you 3 nights. I'm going to say, due to circumstances, that this is the first of 3 nights. So you guys.
So the last night wasn't the first. Okay. So this is the first of 3. Okay.
So we could send our messages, and then we could go address the thing with Tracy.
But the thing that we have 3 nights on, that's kind of like the priority right now.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Even though it's very important for me to find out what happened with Tracy, we've got this time-sensitive crunch thing here that has to do with trying to find who killed Kai, which is also very personal. Yeah,
we were given like 72 hours to.
I thought it was 720. Are you sure it was 72?
720. Yeah. Okay. I'll go with 720.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm still going to send a message to Nawal because that doesn't hurt. But yeah, if we want to listen to the information we got from Homeboy's computer, let's do that.
Okay. So Alice, Idaho's contacting Nawal. Vic is contacting Andrea. So what are you doing?
That's the thing. Unless I'm missing something, I don't think there's too much personal going on for Alice right now. I mean, not on the level, unless I'm forgetting. Like, not on the level of, like, Tracy for Idaho or...
There really isn't that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I don't think I have much of a personal going on right now.
You've got a batch of drugs that you promised Ruby and that you would spend with her sometime, and we've been so busy since you got them. You haven't done anything.
Now is not the time.
Do drugs.
Are they even like you're speaking of? Like, I have a stash that I was going to give to her, and then
you have a stash that was given to you by Slade,
right? Okay.
Yeah. And ever since you were given that stash,
I had just assumed that was like my re-up. Like, that's just me and Ruby's like shit in the drawer. Like, she takes what she wants, I fill it back up.
So it's gonna be like a Ruby only thing because she's the only.
All of it's a Ruby only thing. We don't get anything out of that.
Well, I can read though. We can.
So not.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pull that up from the.
Well, no. So here, since you kind of mentioned it, that's not entirely true. You do have a couple things that might be considered to be, shall we say, a little personal to you. You definitely took an interest in Alyssa, the Bruja that showed up that one night. There is also Marla, who you were supposed to meet up with at the end of.
Oh, did we actually agree on a meeting?
I died.
Okay.
And of course, there's also what happened the night that the Northeast Anarchs showed up back in session 37, where the Thin Bloods were attempting to recruit Ruby to something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no shortage of things for us to do.
Well, if they haven't, well, as far as that last is concerned, if they haven't come calling since then, that puts it a little bit lower on the priority. For me, at least. The drugs were just an afterthought, so I didn't necessarily see that as like a plot point. Of course, you would, but anyway. No, I mean, I can definitely try to track down the Marla thing, because I honestly had forgotten how we had left that. That was on me. I think I got wrapped up in whatever else we were doing.
I don't know that it was necessarily on you. I think that was one of those nights that didn't end in that night, so we continued on another night, and you probably didn't remember the next session because it was the same night the next session probably.
So if we're all gonna if we're all gonna take care of our own little bits here at the beginning, then that would be the route I'd go, especially if Vic's gonna try to get in touch with Andrea. But
okay, so you're gonna try to contact Marla. Okay, so going down the list. Idaho. When Moira gives you the number to text Noel, and you text her, you get a response back almost immediately. Something to the effect of, "Dude with the drone is not happy."
Hmm? The drone is not happy?
Not happy.
Is that what I heard? The drone is not happy, or the dude with the drone is not happy?
The dude with the drone is not happy.
okay, yeah, I missed that part too.
Yeah. The mic thing is really noticeable now. I don't understand what's going on, but okay, I'm gonna reply back and say, "How's of the job?" Okay, here's why I actually contacted you. We're trying to make some sort of approach to the gangrel at Fairmont. Do you know any of them? Do they have a certain type of protocol? Do you know anything that might help us to approach them in a diplomatic way?
There's a moment before she texts you back. But when she does text you back, there is kind of a list, let's say. First is you go to Fairmont, but they find you.
Okay.
The second part about it is that if they don't want to be found, you don't try to find them. And then the third message that comes in is understand that territory that they have kind of been consigned to, that's theirs, because they're the only thing that's basically keeping the treaty and the truce with the wolves that we know are in Fairmont. So
this is, I guess, kind of out of game, so if I don't know the answer, that's fine, but did Michael tell on the wall what we were wanting to find?
No. Michael did not confirm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Give that information
2 weeks ago. She was not that specific. She just told me she wanted drones in.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm out of my depth. I'm going to go back to Vic and Al when they're ready and kind of reconvene with them to talk about this stuff.
Okay. Vic, do you call or do you text?
I can call. It's been a while since I've tried calling. I'll call, and if there's no answer, then I'll text.
When you call, it goes straight to voicemail.
Then I'll text. I don't feel like.
You're going to do voice to text. You might as well just leave her a voicemail.
Okay, I can do that. That's fine. Voice to text, whatever.
He's texting. Fine. I don't know what these letters mean.
Just be like, hey.
So you're going.
Andrea.
So this is so. Just to clarify, this is a text message that you're sending, right?
Well, I guess it's gonna be voicemail because, I mean, text message would be voice to text anyway, so it'd be the same thing. I'm talking either way. Got it. Hey, Andrea, having some issues with the park. Just didn't know if you would be able to help out. Please let us know if you have any information on the park or the gangrel in it. Hope I hear from you soon. Hope you're doing okay.
Because it's a voicemail, you don't hear anything back. Alice, when you contact, how do you reach out to Marla?
Text. Just basically saying, want to follow up from last we spoke.
You get a text back a couple minutes later. It's a photo of her in front of a hotel. The McKittrick Hotel with a text that then says, not in town, just up the road. We'll be back in a couple days. Now, Al, when you get this text and you look at the picture the first time, it looks pretty innocuous. She looks still a little harried, a little kind of under the weather, a little homeless, maybe even standing in front of this very fancy hotel. But as you look at the picture the second time, out of the corner, kind of in the background, kind of off to the side, there is someone or something there. It's definitely humanoid in shape. But it doesn't look the way that you would expect something in the photo where it is to look. Everything else that's around it is in focus. You can see the front of the McKittrick. It looks gorgeous. There's people walking by. This particular person or thing that's in the background, it's almost like it's a smudge. Like it's not that it's not real, but it almost looks like if it was like an oil painting or something like that. It's not a cohesive bit of imagery, we'll say.
Do I get the sense from the photo that this thing is in any way connected to Marla, or it's just kind of happenstance?
Well, given the way that the photo is taken, because it's a selfie, so
right.
Duck lips.
Yeah, so it's definitely Marla, doing her best in front of the McKittrick, but in the background, it doesn't look like it's something that's passing. It doesn't look like it's something that's like one of the bypassers or one of the people who's walking by on the street. It looks very present shall we say.
Gotcha. And how far is this hotel from us?
New York City.
She already made it up there. Okay.
Let's go.
It's actually not that far of a drive.
It really isn't. In fact,
Philly to New York, Newark is not. Compared to most things in Texas, from Texas to Texas, it's not that. It's not that far of a drive.
No. So here's something that has happened in a previous session with Marla. Not Marla, excuse me. With Michael. He basically did an entire session where he left Philadelphia and went to New York with Shakespeare. It is not out of the realm of possibility.
Well, at this point, I would have to ask, or I'm paying for an expensive damn Uber because I don't have any points of drive that I know of. I'm gonna come to you guys.
Philadelphia to New York. Philadelphia to New York is closer than Austin to Houston.
No way.
Yeah.
Yes, it is 97 miles. It is 97 miles.
It's like 250 something to get to.
I mean, Houston, I could swing there. That's so close.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It is. It is one of those things where the coterie could literally, if they got up, particularly with the long nights the way they are, could get up and head from Philadelphia to New York and spend the entire night there, and then still have plenty of time to come back.
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's convene and discuss our options then. That's what we want to do.
So.
That's good.
I mean, the only
I'm going to guess that the three of you kind of come back together, and
I'm going to share the text messages I got from the wall and say, this is the deal with the gangrel. I'm really feeling like this is just such a huge risk. I mean, if this has, I mean, Idaho again is the young guy here, so I don't really know what's going on, but if this is sort of the linchpin of the truce between the werewolves and the vampires, I mean, is it even worth the risk of going in there and trying to do this at all? It's like, okay, we want to know who killed Kai. Yes, we do. But do we risk destroying the truce between?
I think that's what we were going after. I thought we were going after more. I thought we were going after who imprisoned us, who put us, who was involved.
That's what it was? Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. I thought you were going to tell us who killed Kai.
No. Sorry. We know who killed Kai. We're already after him.
Oh, that's right.
That's not.
Yeah, that's right. And we're waiting to hear if they find where he is. I'm sorry. I was totally off. Okay. So again, but I'm still going to say the same thing, but without the who killed Kai, because that was wrong. Yeah, we want to know who put us in, who imprisoned us. But I mean, this is really hardcore. At the very least, Michael should be with us. So
I would agree with that.
But I will share that info. So yeah, it looks like one way is just to go to the park and stand there and wait for them to find us.
I don't know if I feel like going to the park tonight. But I do have a reason, nay, excuse even, to maybe go check out New York. If you guys are interested.
So I'm already in the car, the engine running. Brutus in the back seat. Let's go.
So
let's go if we want to. I'm down. Vic, did you hear anything from Andrea?
That's what I'm wondering. I probably didn't. I'm not expecting.
You said you didn't.
You didn't yet. No.
All right. Well, it's either we listen to the audio recordings from Tracy's stepfather or foster father, or we go to New York. I say let's take a road trip.
So, is everyone in agreement? Are we heading to the Big Apple?
I don't know. I think I'm going to actually stay behind. I don't know that I'm going to go. I think I'm going to try and figure out what else I can on, back here, at least on any gangrel leads. And then also, I'm still looking for Kai's killer. He's got a special place in my hit list. He's like in number one right now.
All of us, we all want a piece of him. Well, I'm fine staying.
I don't know if you guys have been brooding over it like I have. Like I was the one that like me and Al were the ones that pulled Kai out of her little, the danger she was in. So like the fact that she got killed under our noses just kind of that's kind of, at least in Vic's mind, is kind of like, put a big wedge between him and most of reality right now. Like he's really thinking about trying to at least avenge Kai.
That's worth doing as well. I mean, I'm up for whatever.
So I'm okay with letting you guys go and seeing what information you get. But like me, I feel like my time is better spent here trying to figure out things locally, if that makes sense.
Sure it does.
That, and I don't want to go to New York. I'm not going back to New York.
Yeah, Vic, you're not down with that.
Fucking plague. There's a reason I'm not going back to New York.
Oh, so Al, you share that picture with us?
Yeah, because I'm not going to know where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going to say, does that blurry thing looks familiar? Like, is that a Scourge type of thing?
So, if you want to know that,
well, I'm going to kind of ask the group. I'm going to ask Vic and Al, like,
would that be an occult role?
Is that, because we know there are vampires that have that ability where they don't show up properly on cameras.
Alice, if you want to answer that question, that will in fact be your intelligence and occult.
Okay.
5 and 1.
Oh,
Successes here.
I said 5 and 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm. On the dot. God damn. So
777 777.
Alice, you know that the way that a Lasombra appears on a piece of electronics does not look like this. When Lasombra end up on technology of any kind, you end up with it looks more like the technology itself is glitching.
Right.
Like the technology just doesn't understand what it's looking at, and so as a result, it appears like the imagery is kind of broken up, it's cracked, it's frazzled, like there's a missing part to it, there's shadowing. This doesn't look like that at all. This looks a lot more like it's almost like the camera sees it, but isn't seeing it properly, or the camera is seeing it, but there's something there that is converting it and preventing it from actually transposing the image. And you know that is an ability that certain that comes with the discipline obfuscate at much higher levels. The ability to, I believe the discipline. Let me get you an exact name on it. Is known as. Ghost in the Machine.
Ooh, I want that ability.
What level is that?
Because obfuscate, I think.
So the The user can now transmit the effects of obfuscate through electronic media, allowing the vampire to appear invisible or masked when viewed.
Yeah, I think I was looking into that. I just didn't know if I'm at a point where I can take that.
If an observer views the image later, as in a photograph or recording, the effect lessens. The image seems slightly blurred, making identification hard. In addition, automated surveillance has a tendency to glitch in the presence of the vampire, lessening their chance of being caught by automated systems.
Nice. So it's somebody with obfuscate.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that tells us something. May not be much, but...
And the blur is like right behind her or like off in the corner, or what did you say?
It's so she is like, so the photo is to kind of give you kind of a setup. It would be like she is standing right on the curb. So you can see in the background, like you can see the sidewalk and then the front of the building. And in between her and the side, in between her and the building there's people who are walking back and forth and things like that. It's leaning against the front of the building. Whatever it is
so she's in the presence of a kindred, is what this is telling us. But that's about all we know.
Yes. Theoretically, maybe.
Well, your call. I mean, we got lots of stuff we could do here, or we could go to New York.
I'm down for New York. I mean, I was the one that proposed it.
All right. Well, I guess we'll leave Vic to do some investigating here, and we'll head up to New York.
Okay. So just to clarify, Idaho and Al, you guys are hopping in the hearse, and you're going to head to the Big Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Vic, you're going to stay in Philadelphia and try to follow up on leads regarding Kai, correct?
Yeah, Kai, or if I can find anything on any gang roll, on the park, that would be great too. But
Okay, so since we're kind of splitting the party
into New York, fuck New York. Right up the ass. Bye, New York. Gone. Not coming back.
We're not going to New York. We're going to El Paso.
Okay. Have fun.
So, with that said, since the party is now splitting up, let's take our bio break a little bit early here.
Sounds good.
And we'll come back at 10 till.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. All right, everybody.
Get my map for New York.
Yep. We'll be right back. There we are.
Yo.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody for sticking with us. I'm Pixie. Thanks for joining us on the playground for Monday night's Vampire the Masquerade, Philly by night. Tonight sees us heading to New York, apparently. Some of us. And I will throw it back to Nox. I will be warning everybody, I need to fix some banner stuff so you can see the map better. So things will be moving around on your screen, but just focus on Nox.
Are we not doing hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil? I was trying to go with the speak note. I guess that's not how we were doing. Okay.
So, welcome back to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Chronicle, Philly by Night. So, after a informational start to the evening, the coterie has decided that they are going to head, or two members of the coterie anyways, are deciding to follow up on a lead in the Big Apple. Meanwhile, Vic has decided that someone should hold down the fort and continue searching for clues here in Philadelphia. So, let's start with our outgoing kindred. When you head to the Big Apple, where are you guys going?
Going to that hotel, aren't we?
Pretty much the plan.
So you're headed to the McKittrick.
Mm-hmm.
The map changed.
So, when you get to the McKittrick, the outside of the hotel, it's not exactly what you're thinking. It's kind of a grand building, but at the same time, it is a little subdued. It's Art Deco. There's a nice plaque outside the signs, very nice. But compared to some of the other buildings that are nearby, even, it seems like it's kind of a world unto itself. When you guys get in, so when you guys pull up, park, getting more than a few side eyes and chuckles due to your hearse, you're standing out front of the McKittrick. What do you guys, how are you guys going to approach this?
I guess I should have said this on the way. I'm sorry. I was thinking that on the way I would have already texted Marla, trying to get a room number or meet up, or I would have figured that would have been en route, but if too late to call that, then basically it'd be texting a call. I'd call. We're already in town. I'd call and try to make contact.
When you call, and she picks up, it's very loud. It sounds like there's a party going on. There's people in the background who are being rambunctious. None of which, from where you are right now, appears to be happening. You can hear her voice on the phone, but it's impossible to make anything out with regards to what she's saying, where she is, anything like that.
I'm gonna basically scream at her text me, and then hang up and text her. Be like, where the hell are you? Let's meet up. XYZ.
You get back a question mark, and then followed by a picture of the same plaque that was outside.
I'm gonna ask Idaho. Does any of this make sense to you?
We got a picture of the plaque that was outside. What plaque?
The plaque for the McKittrick from the outside of the hotel.
Like where she was taking the selfie before?
Yeah.
But I'm guessing she's not in it. It's just a picture of.
Well, I'm going to go look at the plaque.
So when you go and you look at the plaque, it's not an old plaque. Like, you know how like some plaques like are bronze, they're stained with age, they're kind of, this doesn't look like this. This looks like this is something that was done in the last maybe 5 to 10 years. As you're examining the plaque, it's got a design. It's supposed to look like a torch with a wreath coming out from underneath of it. What it actually looks like is kind of like a pineapple that's on fire.
Okay.
And then underneath of that, it just says the McKittrick Hotel and the address.
So, yeah, I was wondering if she was like at some secret rave or something.
Yeah, I'm like, is there something in the basement? Like penthouse?
So,
but if it's that loud that you can't hear on the phone, I'm
I'd say-
hesitant to think that it's a room per se.
I just would text her back and say, "Are you at the McKendrick?" while we kind of look around.
Yeah, I'll text back, "Are you still here? Because I'm here."
while you're waiting for an answer, you see two things. Or shall we say, each of you sees something on the other side. Idaho. Walking down the street. And keep in mind, in New York, people are walking around wearing all manner of stuff. Flamboyant, super, conservatively dressed, very sharp, very whatever. But what catches you about this guy is he looks like something straight out of Newsies. He's got tweed pants on, loafers. He's got on like a white button up shirt with the sleeves rolled up to his elbows. He's got like on a Boston style scally cap, all matching ensemble. He looks like it's outside of time almost. He walks up, he's smoking, he throws a cigarette, and then he walks in through the front door of the McKittrick.
Did I smell anything weird about him?
He smells like human. The resonance is very excited. It is the resonance that is coming off of his blood that you catch. It's excited, it's flamboyant, it's energetic, and you don't smell any drugs.
Yeah, he just feels that way.
It just smells like that's just him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then after you deal with Al's thing, I'm gonna try to get her attention to follow the guy.
Al. On the other side, about a block down, you see an Escalade, like a black Escalade, pull up. And a man steps out, parks the Escalade on the curb, and a man steps out. He has long black hair, He's got a goatee. He's wearing a blue suit, blue tails, vest, and about the sternest look you've ever seen on your face.
He's supposed to look like the sheriff in Coteries in New York. Because that's what I'm hearing.
So, what are you two gonna do?
Well, I assume we're not that far. I mean, I'm just going to go to Al, and unless she says her thing first, I'm going to say I just caught a whiff of some retro guy who is super excited about something. Maybe he's headed to a party. We could follow him.
I'm thinking that's the best course of action, but you see that Escalade over there? In the corner? Yeah, some very handsome, mysterious dude got out. And I just got a weird feeling.
Does it look like the vehicles that were driven by the Scourge's fellows?
I mean, a black Escalade is a black Escalade.
I mean, is this the Z14 variant or what? What are we talking about here? So this guy does not. What I'm getting at is there anything that makes me think, holy shit, this is the Scourge's dudes, or this is just some other person? He's wearing blue. Did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He is wearing a blue suit.
I want to steal his clothes. Can I do that?
It's like a midnight blue.
Okay.
His hair comes down just past his like collarbone. It's straight. He's got a mustache, goatee, very looks like maybe he's from somewhere in the east, maybe Lebanon, maybe something Persian, or he was. There's no way that pallor of skin is still human.
So where's he headed?
He's looking in y'all's general direction and is making his way, albeit slowly, towards you guys.
So he's obviously like he's one of us, I would assume. Does he smell like a vampire?
You're too far away.
Okay. Say, well, we can wait for this guy, or we can go follow. I mean, I'm kind of inclined to want to wait and see what this guy has to say. What do you think?
I mean, we already know where the kid went. I mean, at least partially.
Yeah.
Contained.
All right.
Can't hurt to maybe say hello, get an introduction.
Sure. Let's wait. Like this.
So when he walks up to you, he kind of sidles, like takes the last couple of steps, and then he looks you both up and down. He says, "Little outside your pond, aren't you?"
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are correct.
That's why they call it a visit.
He smirks. He says, "Normally this is the kind of thing that Julia used to take care of, but seeing as how I don't think you are acquainted with the way we do things here." He says, "You realize when you come in to Camarilla territory as a kindred, you're supposed to immediately present yourself to the prince and tell them what you're doing here.
No, I didn't know that.
Many apologies. We didn't mean to offend. I simply heard that a friend was in town for the evening and didn't want to miss the opportunity to see them.
Yeah, and we're not staying long.
We promise.
He kind of smacks his lips, kind of looks around. He says, I'm going to be generous. Uncharacteristically so. He says, have your fun, find your friend. He says, be out of my city before dawn.
I'll be like, I'll get all big eyes.
The
Just like,
next time,
oh, sorry.
he says, the next time, before you come, make the proper arrangements to present yourself.
Thank you. May we get your name?
He smirks, gives you kind of a sad look, and goes, Kadir, the sheriff of New York.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
No thanks.
As
Yes.
he's
Thank him
walking
very
away.
much. Thanking. Thank you.
As he starts to walk away, he looks over his shoulder and says, though I doubt you're going to be in a position to do so, he says, do give my counterpart my regards.
We just saw him last night. No problem. Which is true, right?
Yep.
With that, Kadir retreats to his Escalade.
We need to hurry up before my mouth says something that's going to get us in trouble. Let's go inside.
I just spin Idaho on his heels. I'm like, to the door. Go. Shut it. Go.
Are there any pigeons nearby that I can talk
Oh,
to?
Lord. Do you want
See that
drugs or not,
Escalade?
sir? You want pigeons or you want drugs?
I want to get the
There are
pigeons
tons
all.
of pigeons, and they all shit themselves.
I want them to shit all over the Escalade. Okay, anyway, yeah, let's go inside and see if we can find Newsy Boy.
So, you guys head inside. Vic, back in Philadelphia, what is your first step towards following up on a lead? What are you going to do?
I guess first is trying to figure out if I know any gangrel other than Andrea. If we come across any other than the one that came to the club with bare feet. And
so there's been the two that have come to the club with bare feet. There is also, one second, I need to double check my notes since there are over 100 of them now. Nope. Jesus Christ. The only other one that you think you know is Celine. who is the Kindred singer who played that sold out show back when it was New Rain.
Right. Did we have any other contact information for her? Or was she just one of those ones that was like, we'll let you know next time we're back through?
Now, she doesn't. You don't know. You personally don't have any contact info. But you know from talking with Michael and the stories that was set up by Victoria Addington.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a start.
Didn't they contact me? Didn't she contact me directly? I thought she did. Because she thought I was the one.
She came into
the club, and we kind of pushed her onto you.
Right, but I thought so. She and I didn't exchange info at any point where we could talk to coordinate. I guess.
Right, but you're not here.
No. I know. I'm curious. Okay, sorry.
Okay, then I guess Victoria might be a good place to start. So I'll head that way.
So you're going to head.
Yeah.
To. Back
no,
to
I don't
owe
her anything. My boon is to Moira. That's right. Okay, I owe a boon to Moira.
Well, you also owe a deed to Victoria in terms of the hit on Charles.
Ah, that's right. We said we would try.
That's right. We did.
We haven't tried yet, though. We really haven't tried. That's true. We haven't tried. So I'll go to Victoria. No, I'll or at least yeah. I'll go.
So when you get to the High Life, the elevator takes you up. When the doors open, there is a thin crowd that is there. It's reasonably sparse. Sitting at a table with another kindred is Victoria. How do you approach this, Vic?
Hello, Victoria. Had a proposition for you that might help us both with your proposition to us. I know you would my boon to you is to eliminate Charles, and this has.
So, when you say that, she stands up, and in a shrilly metallic voice shrieks, "Everyone out!" The rest of the club clears. The kindred who is sitting there is looking back and forth between you and Victoria with a look of shock. And she looks at you, and there you can just see the frustration on her face. She looks down at the kindred next to her and says, "Oh, for fuck's sake. And there's a swift motion of her hand. Like, you can't see her hand move. And the entire front of the dude's throat is just gone. It's just a
Oh my
gush of
God.
blood.
Sorry, I've been trying to stay quiet, but shit. Why we miss all the good stuff?
He hits the ground. Just blood just running out. Just thick vitae. And he's like crawling on the ground, trying to get away from her. She looks at you and puts her hands on her hips and says, "It's called tact, fuckrag." She says, "That is between you and I." She says, "If I have to kill any more people in my circle to keep that secret, our deal is off."
Sorry, I didn't realize you kept such loose company. Like everyone on my side knows my side of the deal. I didn't realize you were so secretive.
When you look her in the face, like, you know, if she was human, like, you'd be able to see the vein on her forehead.
Yeah, I've got to play victim to a fault, man.
I love it.
He
I love it.
go get us killed.
Dumb but smart at the same time. We'll see what he's about to do. I apologize. I didn't realize you weren't as open with your crew as I was with mine. We've had some contact with someone who is offered to provide us information on exactly how Charles was involved on the SI, the whole thing, and provide evidence and proof to him to denounce him and get rid of him completely as the prince of this whole city. The only issue we're having is in order to get that information, we need to obtain a creature that the werewolves have been creating in the park. So I was trying to find some gangrel contacts that would be able to get us some information that as to the park and maybe what our best way in, or if any of them know anything about some creature being created underground. That would be our door to getting Charles denounced and then hopefully killed.
She's like staring at the blood that is everywhere with her hands on her hips. And she goes, "Unfortunately, I can't help you with this. The Camarilla are not allowed outside of the museum."
Okay.
The gangrel are neutral. She uses that, puts giant air quotes around that.
I understand
says,
that.
"The fucking dogs are not."
You may not be able to help us personally, but there was a band that came through our club not too long ago that was definitely gangrel. And you were the ones that put them in contact with us. So I'm wondering if you had any contact information for them that we could maybe reach out to them and see if they have any contact information to anyone in the park here. That was my objective tonight.
She looks at you kind of incredulously, and she's like, I haven't seen Celine in months. She's like, the last that I heard anything about her, she and the rest of the band were in Phoenix. She goes, they're on the road constantly. So I doubt that's your connection.
Okay, well, if you know any other gangrel or anyone else that might be able to help, just feel free to let us know. I'm sorry for the trouble I caused. I didn't realize it was going to be this much of an issue.
As she gestures to the kindred who is on the ground, who is still now crawling, leaving a blood trail toward the elevator, trying to get away, although moving much slower now. She goes, if I can think of anything, I'll tell you. She says, while you're on your way out, she says, please clean up the trash.
Will Drew. So I'll pick him up and snap his neck, and then...
So he's already bleeding out badly.
Yeah.
So how are you going to take care of this?
I'll turn to her and go, you got a mopping bucket?
She shoots you a look that says you really don't want the answer to that.
Hey, I'm just trying to clean up. How much do you want me to clean up? You just want me to take the body, or do you want me to clean all this up too? I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'm used to it.
She says, get rid of him.
All right.
And storms off.
I'll just take it then.
Shove them in your pockets.
It's his Capri Sun. Take it to go. Walking out the door.
It worked great with my new ability. I just got a new ability last week too.
Nice.
So, what are you going to do, Vic?
It's called Brutal Feed.
Nice. Do it.
All right. So,
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
now, are you going to...
Not Diablerize, but at least, get him down. He's not the one I'm intending.
I was going to say, so he's already basically bled out. There's not much blood in his
snap
system
his neck, and I'll just take him out to where am I parked? I'm parked out front, I guess, huh?
Next to the police station.
So you are in the Challenger. So you're just going to put him in the trunk, or...
I can, if that's not going to cause a scene. That's what I'm wondering. Like, if I go out front with him, is that like, are they going to let me out the back door?
Well, so the elevator that goes up, the one you took, is the back. It's the back elevator.
Okay. Yeah. That's
so you would have gone in the back.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll put him in the trunk then.
All right.
Love
And then I guess it doesn't matter where I put him because he's a vampire. So if I put him out in the sun, he's going to turn into ash anyway. So I just need to put him somewhere, somewhere when the sun hits him. He'll just ash away.
Back in New York. As the pair of you walk through the doors of the McKittrick, it looks like a hotel. There's a kind of old-timey front lobby. Off to the side, there's a bank of elevators. On the other side, there's a bar. That's kind of a mediocre-looking kind of bar.
Do we see Newsy Boy?
From where you are, standing right in the front of the lobby, no, you don't.
I'm gonna look around, see if I can catch his trail or not.
It is not difficult to pick up on that resonance again. It leads you into the bar. The bar itself is empty. There is a bartender who is behind the bar, kind of a bulky guy, towel over his shoulder, washing glasses, who is being as nonchalant as he can, but it's very obvious that he's aware of your presence.
Now, do we see Newsy Guy, or I just picked up on his little effluvia?
You picked up on his scent, but you don't see him.
Can I tell where it leads from here?
Come on, Bloodhound. Let's go.
It's in there. You can tell that he's in the bar. But something here is very confusing for you. Once you're in the bar, it's too many smells. You are not sure why the bar is empty, but you're just being bombarded by different smells, different fragrances.
Can I tell if the bartender is human?
He is human.
Now, okay, he's trying to not act like he notices us.
Yeah, he's being very nonchalant.
Well, I'm going to kind of walk around. I mean, I don't know. And I'm going to kind of lean into Al and tell her and say, I've lost his scent. I've got all kind of scents. If I didn't know better, I think the party was right here. But I don't see anybody.
I'm going to go show the guy her photo.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, if she's been in at all today, hopefully, you know. So, yeah, I approached the bartender, you know, make niceties and explain that I'm looking for a friend and flash the selfie.
When you flash the selfie, he looks at it for a second and he goes, I remember her. Seemed like she was a little off. He's like, is this kind of like a matter of life and death, or what's the story?
Just a miscommunication. She said that she was going to an event thing around here for me to meet her, but then the call kind of got dropped. So I'm trying to track her down. You wouldn't happen to know of any kind of event or anything in the hotel, around the hotel?
He gestures to Idaho and says, "Is she his friend too, or is it just you two?"
I flash Idaho a look of, like, play along. And I'm like, no, that's just my Uber. He said he wanted a drink or something. I don't know. Maybe he's off the clock now, but
So Idaho, what do you do?
So I'm guessing me just wandering around hasn't revealed anything.
It is a very, very plain hotel bar. It looks like maybe it was built in the 60s or 70s. The tables are all natural wood, lots of brass, lots of low light. You think maybe it was kind of classy at some point. Now it just seems a little sad.
Okay, but I didn't like hear anything or encounter anything to kind of reveal where this is all coming from.
No.
Or like walk through some invisible dimensional doorway or something. Nothing like that.
No.
Okay, well I guess I'm gonna kind of wander back over to the bar. And kind of look at Al and go, "Oh yeah, do you need me to take you somewhere else or something?"
I find my friend.
Are you standing there or do you sit down?
I'm just gonna. Well, I'm okay. Let me think. I guess I'd probably just like slip into the stool next to wherever they're standing. I see she's right at the bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like chill, like sit down and kind of say that.
So when you sit down, the bartender kind of smirks at both of you and says, "You two are really bad liars." You hear a click under the bar, and the entire row of seats that you're on starts to descend like it's on a pulley going down. When it goes down,
It's 40x.
it is an old time speakeasy. Looks like it's something straight out of the Great Gatsby. There are women are in flapper dresses. Idaho, you see the guy in his newsy outfit. It is a party. There's an old time dance routine that's going on stage. There is drinks and all sorts of things that are out. This is not even a very well hidden party. And sitting at the bar, you see Marla.
I'm gonna go ahead and thank the bartender.
Well, the entire bar didn't descend. Just
he just lowered us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I'll forego the niceties then. Yeah, I'm gonna slide up next to her and whisper in her ear, "Why didn't you call me back?"
As you're going through the crowd on your way to Marla, Idaho. You feel a cold hand grab yours. When you turn around, you have to look down because it's a little person. She is dressed with red curly hair, wearing a straight up like Lolita style Wednesday Addams dress, knee-high socks. And she says, in a kind of squeaky voice, she says, haven't seen your kind here in a while.
This is my first time here.
She smiles and kind of puts her hands on her hips, and she goes, well, you look like you're on your way to do something. But if you have some time later, says, maybe we should chat.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of say, my name's Idaho, and I would love to chat with you.
She curtsies, and she goes, I'm Roxy.
Nice to meet you, Roxy.
Enjoyed the Samantha free zone.
Ow. At the bar, when you go up, you ask her why she didn't answer you. She holds up her phone. She's got like one bar.
Mm.
She points to it and says, they do that intentionally.
Makes sense. It's with the atmosphere, I suppose.
Oh, so it's not meant to make the thing secret. It's just meant to make us think that we're back in the pre-cell phone days.
Would seem so.
She takes another drink and kind of smiles at you, Idaho, and she's like, it's cool to see you. I wasn't really expecting you to come up and find me like this. She kind of like puts her arm around you, Alice.
Can I tell that this is totally platonic?
Oh no. Not in the least.
Yeah.
You ran to New York for her on a moment's notice. Of course she's all in news.
She's getting the wrong idea. I'm just trying to make sure her ass stays alive at this point. No, I very, nice, gently as I can, kind of ease her hand off my hips and just, so what's up? You were in Philly, you left, you've been in and out of contact. So what's the story? What's going on?
She looks a little uncomfortable. And she looks at Idaho, and then she looks at you, and she's like, is he safe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. At least with me, I trust him.
She kind of looks around again, And she goes, "You're not going to believe me." She pulls her coat back, and in her shoulder, like right here, there are what it doesn't look like fang marks. It looks like something bit her. Not like vampires bite, but like a bite.
I look at her and say, that must have been a really tall dog.
She hides it again, and she goes, back when we were in New Orleans, she goes, you left, and then I was staying in this room above this bar, and I'd start waking up in weird places. She says, sometimes I'd have this kind of bite on me. Sometimes it was on my arms. Sometimes it was on my stomach.
You're telling me you're scarred up all over?
She goes, it doesn't usually last more than a day or two, and then it's gone. She says, after New Orleans, I headed to Atlanta and tried to get a job there. It seemed like that worked for a little while, and then I woke up on the outskirts of town and had bites on me again.
Was there anything significant that happened before the first occurrence? Anyone new you met, or?
She's like, no, but she's like, sometimes, like when late at night, if I'm out walking someplace, it never feels like I'm alone. Like it always feels like there's something out. There never is. Like I brought flashlights, I have taser.
No, I believe you.
Gun at one point, but
I've seen it. I believe you.
And she's saying all this in front of me, right?
Yeah.
Because she asked if I trusted you.
Yeah, when she asked if I was safe, I guess I thought something else, but okay. I'm going to interject if I may, and I'm going to ask her, how do you feel after this happens to you?
She says, some days, it just feels like I've got a hangover. Some days I'm so tired and so weak, I can barely get clothes on, let alone go out and get something to eat. She's like, after what happened in Atlanta, I headed north. I ended up in Charlotte. Same kind of thing. I ended up in Harrisburg in Pennsylvania. That she says that was so fucking weird. She says I didn't have any money for a place to stay, so I parked my car down by the Susquehanna and locked the doors and She says, you can imagine how embarrassing it was when I woke up in basically just a nightie behind a strip club. She's like, after that, she says, I went to Pittsburgh for a while. And when that didn't pan out, I went back through Harrisburg and headed for Philadelphia.
Did Idaho smell anything particular about her, or is she still straight up human?
She smells human to you, Idaho, but very, very faint. Like the way that after you have fed on somebody, fed a lot on them, and there's not a whole lot of blood left in their system, that's how she smells to you.
Okay.
Her skin, when you smell that, that's enough for you, Idaho, to kind of look at her a little more carefully, and you notice that her skin is kind of translucent. Like, it's very, very, like, her veins are very prominent. Her skin's very pale. She's...
Like she might be a thin blood and not even know it.
No, she still smells human.
Okay. So I'm going to say to her, so what brought you to this party tonight?
She kind of laughs and she goes, I thought it'd be interesting to see the shows here. I thought it'd be interesting to spend a couple nights. She goes, she looks at you, Alice, and she goes, I know we were supposed to meet up that one night, but then we didn't. I don't know what happened. And I asked at the club about you, and people just said you were busy, and she's like, so figured I'd take a break for a couple days.
Okay.
I'm trying to work this out in my head. Would I have not noticed her skin from the selfie?
Now, on the
there was
selfie,
this...
no.
Well, I'm going to kind of lean down to Al and kind of in her ear, I'm going to say, let's go talk.
Yeah, Marla. I'm going to go get something down here. And I just walk away.
Yeah. So I go obviously with, just to kind of get away from her to chit chat. Oh. And I'm going to basically explain what I smelled, point out the skin. I don't know if Al noticed it or not, but I'm going to point that out and basically say, I don't know what's going on with the teeth marks not going away, but it almost sounds like whoever was in the picture is maybe her little vampire guardian angel that keeps feeding off the poor girl and she has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So if that's, did she tell Idaho that was a form of obfuscation? Did you, Al? Did you tell me? Remember,
well, you've witnessed me using obfuscation.
No, you did your little occult roll to tell what we were seeing on the picture. Remember,
I thought you were there.
You succeeded, but I'm just wondering, did you share that information?
I would have. I mean, we were traveling together, so. Okay,
cool. All right. Then I'm going to say something like, maybe her guardian angel is in here right now and it cannot be seen.
Maybe yeah, that had come to mind.
Maybe a little,
sneaky.
See the unseen might be beneficial right now.
Yep. we know what my role is for that?
Before we do that,
Oh,
we're going to head back to Philly.
Okay.
Vic. So, you are now in
possession
the
of a
parking
vampire
lot
body.
of the High Life with a, I mean, it's not a corpse. It's a vampire, so it is a corpse, but it's not a corpse. In your trunk. So what are you going to do?
Any good, like a place, like, just chain him down, put him toward, let him disintegrate in the sun, and then just go back. Tie him down somewhere, the sun will come up, turn him to ash, problem solved.
I mean, there are any number of different places that could be accomplished.
Oh, club rooftop. Let's do it on the club. Let's go home. Let's drive club. That's all right. Bring up the rooftop. Time to the rooftop. We've done it before there.
We need to put a tree up there. Grow vampire trees.
So, when you get there, you head in the back with the body. And Clyde sees you and is like, Jesus fucking Christ, again?
Don't worry, I got this one. No cleanup necessary.
I know this is going to be a mess. He's like, there's always cleanup necessary.
Unless you want to sweep up ash off the roof, you don't have to worry about this.
He's like, I am going to have to sweep that off the roof.
Why? The wind will blow ash off of the roof. Why do you need to sweep ash off of the roof? That is the wind's job.
He's like, we have a lip on the roof. It's stuck in the corners.
You mean we
and
don't
when
have
it
any?
Rains, that shit will be nasty.
You mean we have lips on the roof with no ventilation for the rain? So then it rains, we just have a pool on the roof. There's no water flowing anywhere.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
He's like,
well, maybe
no.
not a leaf blower, just
like roofs have ventilation for water so that they don't
Roomba up there.
Like that's.
No, you need to save that ash and snort it, my man.
I'll give it to Clyde to snort.
Anyway.
He's shaking his head.
What a great.
So,
Vic is right. Clyde.
There's nothing to clean up
after
off of
you leave the body there. Where do you head next, Vic? What are you doing now?
I guess downstairs. We haven't really gotten any gangrel contacts. Guess. Hey, I'll if I can. I don't know if I have a contact number for Sunny or not, or if that's just Idaho. But I'll see if I can reach out to Sunny.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, that's just Idaho.
Just Idaho. Alrighty.
How much?
Then I guess I'm just kind of holding down the fort, just kind of making sure things stay safe here until they get back.
All right. So, back in New York, Al, you wanted to do Sense the Unseen.
Yep.
That's going to be wits and awareness. So, excuse me, wits and aspects. So 4 and 3, 7, 6 and 1. So when you do sense the unseen, you almost wish you hadn't, because there are so many things that show up. One, there are runes etched along all
I
of
always
the
forget it.
Hold on.
all of the
I'm not on
doors,
this thing too. Hold on.
along all of the arches of the halls, all of that. You see tons and tons
Thanks.
of kindred who are, some are standing there, some are kind of looking over the party, some are hiding in the corners. But the big thing that is almost disconcerting is one wall, which to the naked eye, it just looks like kind of a gilded Art Deco, like giant piece of artwork. But with Sense the Unseen, it's like you can see through it. And it is nothingness. It's just empty.
And if I focus on Marla, do I notice anyone that's taking a certain attention to her?
Now, that is a completely different role.
Oh, okay.
So, if you want to see if anybody is like watching Marla, that's going to be wits and awareness.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, you're going to need a pretty high level of successes for this, because you're trying to see who the bar is looking at somebody else.
Yeah. What would that roll be?
Wits and awareness, which is 4, 2, so 6, 5, and 1.
5 and 1. Oops.
Can I help with that?
Is that an ability that you can?
All we're doing is trying to see, look around to see who's might be taking particular
I would
interest
say,
in
yeah,
something.
you could probably, if you're also looking around, yeah, you can add an additional dice.
A red
So
or
6 and
white?
1.
6 and
White.
1. Okay.
And I'm here to. Oh shit!
Jesus, fuck.
Willpower.
You want to use your
Yeah.
willpower?
Yeah. So just basically hit reroll.
Yeah.
No.
Reroll 3.
Oh, reroll 3. Sorry. It's 3 white. That's right. I always forget.
Jeez,
What is this mystical thing that will not be found? The fuck?
this isn't even mystical. We're just
So,
trying to see if anybody in particular is taking notice of her.
in the din of the crowd, with everything going on, no, you can't. Too much
When
sound, too much activity, too many things going on, swirling around.
notice anything else interesting during this search?
Well, I would definitely inform Idaho of the wall. Like, hey, you see that? I know that looks cool, but total illusion, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Now,
think I noticed anything else as far as the physical.
Let me ask this question. When she noticed these, like when you said she saw tons and tons of vamps, Does Since the Unseen just let her know that someone's a vamp, or did that bring vampires out of obfuscate?
So that would mean that they were obfuscated.
So did they just suddenly appear?
They appeared to her.
Oh, okay. So, all right, okay, got you. So Al, you share all that stuff with Idaho?
Yeah, because I wouldn't want you to like obviously approach the wall and not know what's going on that side, and to, you know. But
So,
yeah, we're pretty much surrounded, dude.
all right. Is my nose picking up vampires that are not obfuscated? Besides, I assume, was Roxy a vampire?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So am I
Yeah, because she
picking up?
walked up and she
I know she had the
specifically.
cold hand and
Yeah,
all that, but I just wanted to be sure.
This club, between you definitely smell kindred, you smell humans. You definitely smell that kind of in between that you've come to recognize as the smell of thin bloods.
Hmm.
But there's other things here too. That musky smell that you smelled in the club once, you definitely smell something like that here. There's the familiar dead, fetid smell that you smell whenever you're around Carmine. You smell that here too somewhere. There's something else. It is an acrid burning smell. It smells like ozone burning, like it's this electric scent in your nose.
Okay, I'm gonna share this information with Al, but then can I do one of my rolls to try to zero in on that electric one, the ozone one? Is that a possibility?
Yes, that'll be wits and awareness.
Interesting.
You sure it's not animalism and charm?
4 and 1.
Oh my goodness. This is
And
not
you're going to need a pretty reasonably high amount of successes here.
I followed that one smell in our club, remember, to the bathroom?
You can rouse the blood, man.
Do what? Oh, yeah. What am I doing here? Wits and what?
So if you want...
Shut up,
okay,
Dick. You ain't even here.
I need that. I want that.
If you want to rouse the blood...
But I have to choose the
so
stat.
if you want to rouse the blood to increase, yes. So
and I'm
you
using
can raise your wits.
This is wits and awareness?
Yeah, wits and awareness. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So I guess I'm going to go for wits. Why not?
Okay, so rouse the blood.
Hell yeah. Can I rouse like 5 times?
No. So, not any hungry.
So lame.
So 5 and 1.
No matter what I do, I can't get hungrier. Oh, yes.
Just so the folks at home can see, because I'm...
Didn't this? Oh, I got a regular crit last time I did this, not a messy.
There we go, guys. That's what Idaho did.
So.
Nice.
Womp, womp.
Awesome.
You have 2 options here. You can succeed and follow your nose.
Mm-hmm.
But your hunger will increase. And in the process, whatever you find, because of the way that you find them, you're going to reveal yourself as a kindred. Alternatively, your compulsion can kick in.
Oh man, those are both good choices.
Flip a coin.
No, I'm in strange territory. I'm not going to go with the compulsion. I'll go for the first one.
Okay. Your hunger increases by a lot.
Oh.
What's that? What's a lot?
You're up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gonna need like some to go on the way home.
Nice. I love riding that red.
If you can get home before the guy on the roof gets ashed, you've got that, man.
You don't got any blood left in him. All right, so I'm going to follow this, whatever the hell this thing is.
So, your beast locks onto that, and you can tell that it's something different, it's something dangerous, it's something interesting. You've never smelled something like that before. Without even thinking about it, your nose raises a little bit, your fangs come out, and you start to move through the crowd. Alice, what do you do?
What can I tell from what I've witnessed is going on? Like, can I tell he's like on the hunt, or
Yeah, you would definitely be able to see the change in demeanor,
okay.
the change in body language, and then his sudden like moving through the cloud.
I'd probably stay as close to Marla as I can, with still keeping eyes on Idaho.
So you're gonna actually go back to Marla.
I didn't think we had moved that far from her. I mean, it's a busy club. I didn't think that we'd have to move far away for her to not hear us.
Okay, don't think it was ever determined exactly how far away
Okay.
you moved.
Okay.
So
That's fine. No, it's fine. No, if that's the case and if she's still like safe at the bar, distracted, then I guess I'll stay with Idaho and
okay,
follow him around.
so he goes across the floor, goes up a short half flight of stairs, and into an area where there's like tables and booths and things like that. He's weaving through the tables, and as he's walking through, now, Idaho, you're so focused on your senses that you're not really picking up on your periphery stuff. Alice, as he's walking through, like you're seeing people who are watching him,
Mm-hmm.
who are like, what the fuck is going on? You get to a table that's kind of like another half flight up. And standing there is a kindred. He's about 6 feet tall, dressed in a white pinstripe suit. He's got kind of steel hair. He is sitting there talking to another man who smells human. There's something wonky there. You're not really sure what it is, but it's not nearly as interesting as the third guy. The third man is dressed black on black on black on black. It looks very, very similar to the suits that were handed out that one night,
Mm-hmm.
with a few notable exceptions. One, this is a much nicer suit. Like, much nicer. Two, the suit that you got, it's like black, charcoal black. Like this is like so black that when you're not more than a few feet away from him, you can't tell the difference in like where the tie and the jacket and everything. It just looks like it's flat.
Mm.
The other thing that looks very apparent is he doesn't have hair in the way that one thinks of hair. It's almost just kind of like a solid shape. Like in the way that like 3D cartoons or low poly
Mm.
like have like just rounded off. That's what his hair looks like. It looks more like sculpted than
Mm-hmm.
hair. When you come up, the three of them all stop talking and look at you, Idaho.
So I'm back in like kind of control of myself?
I mean, yes.
And
but this is definitely where he is definitely where that smell is.
Yeah, the guy in the black.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to look at the three of them and just kind of say, okay, oh, I'm sorry to disturb you. I smelled something amazing. And it was almost like it just took over and I came over here. I'm sorry to bother you.
The man in the suit walks over to you. When he walks, it's almost like he's kind of defying gravity. Like he doesn't seem to walk so much as kind of just like slide.
What was his smell besides this? I mean, I succeeded. I found him. So what am I picking up off of this dude? Is he kindred? Is he weird? Is he?
He does not smell like anything you've ever smelled before. This
Gotcha.
definitely does not smell human.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Okay. So he glides over to me.
He glides up to you. He looks you in the face and he smiles and he says, "We're not doing this." He puts his finger on your chest. And you and Alice are back at the bar.
I was trying to leave anyway. I wasn't trying to intrude on this guy. Interesting. So we're back sitting at the bar upstairs or downstairs?
Nope, you were sitting at the bar near or where you were when you first smelled it.
Okay. Well, that was nifty. No idea what the hell that was.
It's weird. That's weird.
So what are you guys gonna do?
Well, I still want to chit
So
chat
are
with
we
Moxie before-
are we making the connection that this smell was the spectral whatever that was following Marla. Is that what we're connecting here? Or that was just this random smell?
I just
No,
picked up
that
on
was
Okay,
just
you
a
just picked it.
random
Okay,
smell.
okay.
unusual. Yeah,
It was just the timing kind of.
yeah.
Also,
Uh,
Idaho.
Si, senor.
You remember
Mm.
everything that happened. You remember suddenly feeling so much hungrier. You remember going across the club. You remember going up the flights of stairs and finding these 3 people. But for the life of you, you can't remember what it was that put you up there. You don't remember what their faces looked like, what they were wearing. You also don't feel all that hungry.
you know what?
Now, what about Al? She was with me, kind of.
Now, she remembers following you behind you and going up the stairs. She remembers seeing a kindred in the white pinstripe suit, guy who looked like he was in a black suit, but she was behind you when you walked up. So she doesn't remember what you guys said to one another, what he said to you.
Hmm.
But Alice, in your head, it feels convoluted, like memories on top of memories.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're remembering something that didn't happen but could have happened. It's like two things are taking up the same space now in your head, and it is causing the cobweb to start to coalesce around those.
Wow.
But no reaction, no whispers.
But you can feel them. You can hear chittering, talking, but it's indistinct. It's like conversations that are had 2 tables over, but it's also kind of invasive because it's in your head.
So, remembering the way I got up there, if I were to retrace my steps, would I have cover before getting near those 3?
You would. So going up the steps, you'd have to weave through all of the tables and go through all of those people. And then you'd have to head up another set of steps. And once you got up those set of steps, that's the table that they were at. So to a certain extent, as long as you didn't too close, you think maybe you could.
I'm just debating using the senses.
Oh. See, all you have to do is see them for that, right?
Yeah, just line of sight.
Okay.
So if I process that I have a position to take that would keep me out of sight, obviously, of them, that would be my choice, would be to try to get inside his head. Or even his friends' heads, but just something's going on with them weirdos.
Okay, so you are. So now you're going to head up those stairs. And then how are you going to like try to get up halfway and then like duck bound behind tables, or like how are you going to do this?
It's just hard for me to imagine layout. So it's hard to.
So, okay. So when you go up the half stairs,
Mhm.
imagine that it's kind of like a long hall with like round tables,
Okay.
like a restaurant, and then like booths going down the side.
Okay.
And then at the end of that, it kind of there's another half up that goes to another area where their table is kind of.
So would it be
central.
feasible for me to slip into a booth and have eye line?
You'd have to get a reasonably close booth.
But if he's what I think he is, then me using obfuscate to hide in plain sight probably would not work.
You could only also hide if you went somewhere where no one was looking at you, right?
Yeah, and using unseen passage here in the bar is going to be very difficult, unless you basically figure out a way to exit everyone's line of sight, go into unseen passage, and then re-enter.
That was, yeah. Man, this is hard. You know what? Fuck it. Alice has had enough. I'm just gonna fucking march right up and demand to know what the fuck he just did to me.
Holy shit.
Not in a completely rude and off-putting way, but just, hey, the hell was that? I don't appreciate that. I didn't say 2 words to you.
Do we make it that far?
So, you're walking through the long table.
Yeah,
area.
Alice has just had it. We're just going straight beeline.
When you get to the stairs going up, the stairs have like a little velvet rope going over it and a sign that says out of order. I'm guessing you're going to
Oh yeah, fuck
disregard.
that.
When you push the rope aside, you walk up. There's not even a table up there. It's just an empty area. There's a place in the floor where there's floor that's missing. Like there's wood, like the wood floor, like there's a place where it's been damaged and cut out. But now that you've gone up there and you've seen this, now you have 2 memories who are overlapping in the same place. And there are some voices, not all, but there are some voices that are making very panicked, angry sounds in the back of your head.
So they want me to leave. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm heading back down to Marla. I mean, at this point, has Idaho followed me all the way up to see
Yeah, I would
this
have followed
himself?
you. I would have
Okay.
followed you.
Okay. So
So-
I don't have to describe. You've seen
So
it.
Idaho, for you, as you're walking up and doing all of this, like you're retracing, like you are vaguely starting to recall that you're doing this, but you're not really sure why. You don't understand why Al's doing it. But there's also a sense of wrongness. When you get to the stage and she throws away the velvet rope and goes up, and you get up there and you're with her, There's just an imposing sense of wrongness.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Shit. I should have. Shit.
Time to head back to the regular part, I guess.
Yeah, I already left before doing something I wanted to do.
We can always go back. Are there, as we were walking our way through the more like the way to get there with the round tables and the booths, are those all occupied by various people?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different people in the different booths, different tables.
Okay. Have I seen Roxy yet again since the initial encounter?
No, not in this area.
All right. Well, before we leave, I want to at least talk to her.
Okay, so you're gonna go look for Roxy?
Well, I mean, I'm going to kind of still hang with Al and kind of see what it is she's wanting to do. I mean, that was the main reason we came here.
I have one. Well,
what do you got?
I was gonna say if before we leave, I had the thought to take Marla into the empty space.
Whoa. I was going to suggest
And then since the unseen, and if something has trailed her, trailed us in.
Well, I mean, if we just want to use her as bait, we can always just take her with us and drive back to Philly.
Good point. And then we don't risk. Then we don't risk, actual.
Yeah.
Trouble.
To say, so if you're worried that there's some vamp that's sporadically feeding off of her, let's just take her back to Philly.
Yeah. No, agreed. And we should probably head out before too long because we obviously don't want to feed in this territory.
Yeah. So now I guess whenever you want us to do this, I would like to at least try to find her on our way out, just to talk to Roxy a little bit if it's possible.
Yeah, when you're actually on your way to Marla, it's not difficult to find her, despite being at least a solid 3 feet shorter than everybody near her. She's definitely the life of the party.
Okie dokie. Well, then I'm going to go up to her, try to kind of get her attention depending on what's going on.
It's not hard. She looks at you and's like, yes.
Well, this has been a fun evening, but we're about to head out. But I wanted to, just say hi before we leave and see, chit chat a little bit if that's possible.
She goes, sure. What you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, is this your place? This is a very interesting place here.
Oh, no. This is definitely my place. She goes, not my decor, not my scene, really. But I do like to come here. It's a nice place to get a drink.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression. Interesting. Did she, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought she said earlier she wanted to talk to me, or was she just being nice?
I mean,
I felt like there was something she wanted to tell me, but maybe she was just making friendly chatter. Okay, no problem.
okay.
So I would again, I tell her, we're from out of town. We just came here to see a friend. But yeah, I mean, if I could ever talk to you again, that'd be great. You normally just hang out around New York City?
She says, yeah. She goes, it's easier to get around places with decent, accessibility.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, cool. So I guess that's about it then. For some reason, I thought earlier she had said she had something to tell me, but I guess I misremembered that. So
I'm going to nudge Idaho and be like, get her number.
I thought I just did.
You just said like we were in from out of town.
Oh, well, I'd love to chat with you again sometime in the future. You mind if we exchange numbers?
She totally gives you her number.
Sweet.
Wingman.
Yeah. I mean, that was my intent. I thought I had, but okay, I guess I missed it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make contacts with anybody I come across. Except that dude, except that sheriff. Fuck him.
Deer's
So yeah, I guess
rough.
that's it. I guess we can head out, right? How do we get out of here? I'll say that to Roxy.
There's
How
like
do
a
we leave?
tunnel that
How do
like
we leave
leads
this
out to, you know, a sewer pipe somewhere. It's the secret entrance.
She points to some very prominent stairs. There's like a spiral staircase that goes up.
Nice. You know what? Before we leave, I'm going to say, so this is like a preferred sort of like feeding ground sort of place. Is that what this is?
She kind of cocks an eyebrow and she goes, for those who are in with the right people.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks. And then I'll head out.
So, Al, what are you going to say to Marla?
Just tell her that, you know, it's time that, you know, we need to head back to Philly, and I really think that she should come with us, that we could help her figure out this mysterious fights and waking up in strange places. That I have friends that could very much help us figure this out.
She's like, I mean, okay, but why don't we just get like a hotel here and then head back to Philly in the like tomorrow afternoon?
Between
I got to feed my dog. Let's go.
he said it.
What did you do with Brutus?
I would have just left him back.
Did you
at
leave him at the apartments?
I figured that was like a
Okay.
cool place to leave him. I could have even left him in my apartment that has nobody living there now.
So she agrees. She's like, okay. When you guys leave, you get top of the stairs. And as you're exiting the hotel, you hear a voice from behind says, "Have a good night."
Yes.
We turn back. Who do we know who says it?
It's Kadir. Who says, "I see you found your friend."
We did. Thank you.
He says, "Heading back to Philadelphia?"
Yes. We're leaving New York.
He goes, "Fantastic." He says, "Travel safe." He says, "I would say hope to see you again. But I don't think that goes both ways."
I don't know. I like your look.
It could.
Yeah, you'd be welcome to come and visit us in Philadelphia.
He's like, "Gross."
Aww. So you don't have any taste.
Fuck this guy. Look at that suit. Are you kidding?
That's the point.
Oh.
Challenging his taste when he thinks he has so much.
He's like, "All right."
I'm just heading to the car.
Yeah. Just fuck it. He already said his piece. Let's just get out of here. He thinks he thinks he's one of those cool kids.
I mean, he's the sheriff of New York. He is pretty cool, but whatever. I'm not gonna continue with this guy any more than I have to.
So, Idaho and Alice are on their way back to Philly. Vic.
Very quickly, on the car ride, I very much mentioned or asked Idaho, I know it's a bit soon, but you happen to have a vacancy in your room, I take it?
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
You mind if we put Marla there until further accommodations?
No problem at all.
I certainly don't need any drama.
Right. I guess Marla's sitting there like, why are these two people talking about me like I'm not here?
Pretty much. I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
put her
yeah.
someplace.
Yeah, just don't tell her someone was brutally murdered. And
It's okay. The carpet stains will talk for themselves.
It's art. We spilled some
It is.
paint.
Well, the whole, I mean,
Art.
really, if you think about it, there is all the awesome art. All
Exactly.
over. So, yeah, no problemo.
Thank you.
So, Vic.
Vic's got pussy.
How are you?
Sorry.
How are you ending your evening?
I guess I was just waiting for people to come back, just making sure things were locked down and just checking in, make sure they got back safe, and making sure I didn't have to go out hunting for them.
I'm going to accidentally turn the wrong way and head to Maine.
Oh, fuck.
Spend the rest of my night looking for Idaho. God damn it.
So, Idaho and Alice are on their way back to Philly. Vic is has everything on lockdown. That is the end of our night.
What? We don't get to
And the
feed?
end of our session.
Nope. You end at
You're in the
300.
car.
Yeah, but I got to get back before the sun comes up.
He's
Maybe.
Maybe something cray-cray happened when we get back.
Did I actually go back to a one hunger after that weird encounter?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, all right, then fuck feeding.
Yep.
That's why he said, and you're noticeably not hungry.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
know,
oh
I know.
shit, time warp.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
do the
So that's when I went onto the dance floor and started doing the time warp. Remember? And everybody fell in love with Idaho as usual.
Oh.
So I guess I'll drop off.
Not one person.
Yeah. It's because I didn't turn on off. I'm going to drop them off and get Brutus and go find a place to sleep.
So, that is
Dun, dun,
the end of our night and our session, though not our chronicle.
Vic is thinking about how unsuccessful our session was because he didn't get to scratch off anything on his fetish bingo card.
Oh, no.
No kink bingo tonight?
Yeah, it was kind of slow on the kink bingo tonight.
No, I'm just kidding.
The throat.
I was waiting. I was like,
that dead guy didn't do anything for you?
You totally could have throat fucked somebody.
oh.
Slit your throat and fuck the wound.
So don't forget.
You could have
I've
actually
heard of a
picked the throat
Colombian
up off the
necktie, but
floor.
this is just ridiculous.
You've never heard Slipknot before?
So let's not forget for next time, Vic, you had the idea to contact Sonny, and now I'm back.
Yes.
So let's pursue that next
Okay.
time we have the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually thought about that too, but I thought about it like too late myself.
And I was thinking of actually contacting Sunny for other reasons than what's in the park. I was wanting her to find know if she knew anything about the one-armed killer on Covenant.
I already owe her for that. I talked to her.
For that one. Okay.
Yeah, I talked to her
you...
and went into debt with her again and said, this is the guy. And you remember him because she saw him inside the place.
Okay.
So she's already on the lookout for him.
Okay, cool. So then I would just want to know an update then. And then if we find out.
Right. Yeah. Good going.
XP
A lot of weirdness tonight.
Yeah, XP. Man, I definitely need to sit down and see how much I have. I never look.
You need to
That's
keep
terrible,
your
isn't it?
session. Keep keep your tab open. Everyone will log off. That's fine. And then me and you can go through and like look at stuff.
I know, I'm just tired.
It's
been a
It
long
doesn't
day.
even have
It's
to
been
be
a long
today.
day.
You can keep it open and we
Yeah,
can go through it
it's
tomorrow.
fine.
That's fine
That-
too. It's just
that next
Just
level of office.
yeah, for
space.
anybody tuning in, thanks for sticking with us. First of all, we have a blast with streaming here with you guys. But yeah, Zach and I had a rather rough day when someone or something bashed in the back window of our car. So that just kind of at 4 o'clock set the fucking tone for the rest of the damn day. Usually I try to come in, I've got energy and I'm digging it, and tonight I've just felt like I haven't even been given 30% and I'm so sorry.
It's
I
okay.
felt like I've been able to give it good percentage while I've been on. I just
Got somebody killed, man. You gave
just
it 100%.
based on my actual character. If you don't know any of my backstory, and this is more for people that are listening in because they probably don't know my backstory. I'm from New York originally and have escaped New York because of certain situations. So I'm definitely not going back to New York with you guys. So you guys going to New York, like that's great. I'm
big
gonna
old
stay
nope.
here. Nope, I'm staying out of New York. There's a reason my character will not go to New York right now. So
Nice.
Well, everybody, thank you for being here tonight. I want to say thank you to Knox, my storyteller. Scott plays Idaho. Zach plays Vic. I'm your Alice. Thanks for being on the playground with us tonight. And I should hopefully see you guys for City of Heroes tomorrow. So tune in and say hi if you are on our Discord, or my Discord. All right. Thanks, guys. See everybody later.